Hi everyone, so in this video we are going to be talking about graphing inequalities. Luckily, for the majority of this, graphing linear equalities is very similar to just graphing regular lines. There's just going to be two differences. The first difference is if you have less than or greater than, we are going to make a dashed line. If we have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, we are going to make a solid line. The second difference is we're also going to be shading, but we'll deal with that whenever we come to it. All right, so let's look at example 1. We have y is greater than x minus 2. So for the most part, we can just treat this as y equals x minus 2 and graph it just like we normally would. All right, now keep in mind, since this is greater than, we are going to make our line dashed. All right, so to graph this one, you can graph it using whatever technique that you want. I'm going to be using the slope and intercept because it's nice and easy, especially since y is already solved for. So our slope is 1, so we can think of that as 1 over 1. Our y-intercept is 0, negative 2. So I'm going to go down to negative 2, put our first point, and I'm just going to go up 1 over 1, draw a few points, and then we're going to make our dashed line through that. Once we have our dashed line, now we are going to be doing the shading. So if you have greater than or equal to, that means we're going to shade above the line. And if we have less than or equal to, that means we're going to shade below the line. So in this case, since we have greater than, that means shade above the line. So just pick any point on the line, go straight up from it, and that's going to tell you where you want to shade. So we shade this whole region, and that is our answer for number 1. All right, let's try it again. So example 2, y is greater than or equal to 2x plus 1. So I'm going to start out by just saying y equals 2x plus 1 and graphing that normally. Keep in mind that this time, since it's greater than or equal to, we get to put a solid line, so it's exactly like graphing normally. So our slope is 2 over 1. Our y-intercept is 0, 1. So I'm going to go up 1, put a point, and then I'm going to go up 1 over 2 a few times from there, and then we can draw our line. Once we have our line, again, it's going to be time for shading. So this one's greater than or equal to, so once again, it's going to be shading above. So pick any point, go straight up from it, and that's the region that we're going to be shading, which in this case is this whole region right here. And then we're done again. So let's look at number 3. All right, for this one, we're going to have y equals 2/3 x minus 1. Keep in mind that we're going to do a dotted line, or sorry, a dashed line again, since it's just less than and it doesn't have the or equal to. All right, so in this case, our slope is 2/3. Our y-intercept is 0, negative 1. And so we're going to start at 0, negative 1. Then we're going to go up 2 over 3, put a point, do that a couple times, and then we are going to go ahead and draw the dashed line through it. Here's our dashed line, and now we just have to shade. So this one has less than. So remember, less than means shade below. So again, just go anywhere below one of these points, and that shows you the region that we are going to be shading in. So it's this region down here. All right, one more of these. Y is less than or equal to -2. So in this case, since there's no x, remember this one's one of our special, sorry that my keyboard popped up. This one's one of the special lines. And in particular, this one, since it's y equals -2, again, if we just think of it as equals for a second, y equals -2 means it's a horizontal line. So we just go down to -2. Then we draw a horizontal line straight through that. And keep in mind it is going to be a solid line because it's less than or equal to. Once we have our line drawn, again, it's time for shading. So y is less than or equal to -2. So this one we are going to be shading below, which means this region down here, underneath that line. All right, so that's the basics. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here. It's kind of a short one, but this is not the end of these notes. Next up, we're going to be talking about drawing two of these at once. So it's going to be a system of linear inequalities, and we're going to draw both of these lines just like this and shade wherever they overlap. So it's going to be very similar, but don't want to make this too long of a video. So I will see you in that one. Thank you.